Good.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am Teacher Casey. I am here with Kim and Lucy. Hey, ladies, how are you?
Hello. Hi.
Good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here to talk about this topic because I just got my certification and I don't really have a clue. So I'm relying on you now. Kim has been teaching a few Starlight group classes, right?
Done like 3 or 4 now, I think.
Okay.
Like that.
And this was her idea actually to do this collab to spread the word about these classes because you do enjoy them, right, Kim?
Mm-hmm. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. And Lucy is actually a mentor and you've made some of the videos for the Starlight group classes and you're the mentor for a workshop for them as well, right?
One of the mentors. So there's two of us, Kim Fortner and myself. So we do the workshop.
Awesome.
Yeah. 4 workshops every week.
So I was just going to say there's 4 Starlight group workshops per week, but they're all different, right?
Yes.
Can you think of them off the top of your head?
Okay. Well, there's Getting Started, which talks all about the classroom, how to get booked and how to prepare for class.
That was a good one.
Then Teaching Strategies. Teaching Strategies is for trial classes and stage 0 and strategies you can use. Then Solving Your Questions is for stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, the lessons that we teach, 2, 4, and 6, and answering any question that you have. Like you just come with a question and we'll do our best to answer it. Okay. And then the last one is Solving Scenarios, where we bring a new challenge every week to the workshop and we break out into breakout rooms and try to find strategies to solve those challenges.
Well, that's
a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
That one sounds very interesting. I will shout out to the Getting Started one because I took it before I took the certification for it. And I believe you mentioned some people were saying it's kind of a hard quiz. You're like, all of it's in the materials. Well, not only is it in the materials, but if they go to your workshop, you hit on a lot of that stuff. It really helped me to remember it. So
cool.
Yeah, that was a great one. I was like, oh, I know this. Lucy told me. So if you're trying to get the certification, I would suggest, I don't know if it's Monday mornings is the one I went to, was the Getting Started one.
Yeah, we change up the time so that everyone can have a chance to go.
Awesome.
So today it was this morning, but Kim did it. So we alternate. Last week I did Getting Started and Solving Your Scenarios. And this week I'm doing Teaching Strategies and Solving Your Questions. And then next week we'll swap again. So you're always getting a new mentor doing it or a different one.
I will say I want to take the Getting Started again. There's lots of info. Yeah.
And again.
There's lots of info. And now that I've taken it once and kind of peeked around and practiced, I was like, oh, okay, I need to go back there so more information will soak in. But well, let's get started. I mean, we're already talking Starlight Group, but what is the Starlight Group classes or what are Starlight Group classes? Anybody?
Lucy's the expert. I'm just here to speak on my little experience.
I don't want to be the whole person to talk, but Starlight Group classes is 1 teacher and 6 students based on the Starlight curriculum. So a lot of teachers have taught Starlight. A lot of teachers have not taught Starlight. So it might be different because it's for older students who have less English and they've started learning English later than their peers. So it's a jump start to learning English and going at a very fast pace.
Oh, okay. Now I've taught tons of regular Starlight, but this will be my first experience with the group classes. And correct me if I'm wrong, what I noticed was a lot of the stories and things are the same. Is that true? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you use Google Slides, you can type in the SLF with the lesson and Google Slides will pull up a lot of the information.
Oh, nice.
It's the same Google slide.
Yeah. Excellent. Very good to know. So now the group classes can't be booked all day and all night. They only have certain times, right? Kim, do you know those times offhand?
7:10 on Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, I think it is.
Monday and Wednesday too.
Monday. Oh, that's right. They just added Monday and Wednesday, didn't they? Because
Yeah.
I know for a
Well,
while it was just Tuesday.
It's always been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. No Fridays. That's when they have class with their Chinese foreign teacher.
That's right.
But the times do change,
Right.
like depending on what day it is.
And actually in 2 days, they're opening up like the summer program part of it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
don't ask me any questions. I have no clue.
So we just got the
Zero.
notification.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what is this? I don't know.
They did. I don't know if they're offering incentives for opening up, but I will be on vacation for the dates that they asked me for. I was like, oh, bummer. I had to turn down my first Starlight group classes. This is the first time I had to say no to about 8 classes, sets of 4, the monthly ones. I was like, oh, hurt my
Oh, no, I get those every week because the times that the Starlight classes are on Mondays and Saturdays, Sundays, when they really want me, Saturdays and Sundays especially, are the times that I'm already mandatory hours with my other company. And I can't just keep canceling that other company for VIPKid. So every week I'm having to decline them because they're wanting those times that I actually just can't do. This past weekend, I did have it open because of my drama with the other company.
Right.
And so I did have one, but yesterday morning, but generally, normally I don't get them.
There's a chance I can still get bookings for it then. I was like, oh no. Yeah.
There's still a chance.
So do you have the same students all the time in those classes, or do they change? You know what I mean? Like, do they follow you week by week, or is it like regulars that can keep booking that? Or is it the same class stays with you all the time, or you just never know what you're going to get, like our MC courses?
Well, from experience,
that looked like a trickier question than I thought it was going to be.
I teach 7 Starlight group classes every week.
Okay.
That's just like, those are my times that I have that I dedicated to Starlight group.
Okay.
And this week, 5 of those I am teaching the 8th class to. 9 classes is the most I have taught one class, 9 lessons. After 9 lessons, it got swapped and I got a new class. And it was a brand new to Starlight class because they started on unit 1, lesson 1,
right,
or lesson 2. But then I will have like one class, it's a different class every single week, never the same class.
Yeah.
So it's just up in the air, it's booked info pending. And even if you do a 4-week booking, or you do the 8-week booking from the email, or you just open it up and get booked weekly, you don't have a guarantee of any specific student or level.
Oh, okay.
You take what you get.
Together?
Mm-hmm. Well, and also to say, and even if they are a group together one week and you get the same group or the next level the next time, it can be slightly different students, because I've had that happen. Some students were the same, some students were different. So they don't exactly always stay all 6 students together.
Right.
Okay. And actually, Jerry is here. Hey, Jerry, thanks for coming. She had a great question when we were emailing back and forth one day, or messaging. She wanted to know, do you have to do, or she knew the answer and we were just discussing it, but do you have to do feedback for all 6 if you have 6 kids in that that class? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how is the feedback?
I tend to kind of do generic feedback because I'm usually doing it between classes. So it tends to be kind of, we covered these things. And if it's something specific this one student needs to work on, I'll put it in there. But when you have 6 of them and you're trying to listen to and juggle all of them, you can't always get specific work on this word or these words or this sound. So it tends to be a little more generic. And I just put their names specifically in the feedback, but just kind of copy paste into all 6. I'm not sure, Lucy, how you do it, but
I do a lot of copy and pasting.
Yeah, that's the quick way.
Okay.
But what I do is, like, I know there are feedback templates in the material section. Mm-hmm. I've just started adding my own because I don't go by those as much.
Right.
And mine generally
looking for yours.
Look for it. Yeah. I was trying to remember the one that I did recently. It was the TH sound. And so I specifically said, today we practice the TH sound. There are 2 sounds, the sound like mother and the sound like this. please practice these. We did clothing. We did put on and articles of clothing and color. And my homework, so I give a homework suggestion, and this makes it personal feedback, sort of. As you get dressed in the morning, say what you put on. I put on red shoes. I put on blue socks. I put on a yellow hat. And so I give 2 examples, and that's like a personal part of the feedback. So it's not really personal because it's for everyone, but it feels personal,
Because it was your own little added touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Jason. Jason, are you certified for Starlight group classes? I know he was here when we were talking about journeys and the speaking courses, but
good gracious,
he's doing Starlight.
I've had so many journeys lately. Anyway,
good for you. I never get them.
I had 14 last week. And I just had opened it up not this past weekend, the weekend before, I had just opened it up and clicked on to open the prime slots. I have 14 I taught last week from Monday morning to Sunday morning, 14 of them. And I have at least that many this week too. And they are like the easiest classes now because I've got
They are. I love the classes. I don't get them because I don't have that hour I can give.
Right.
I just clicked it and I haven't been connected with a student, but anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. But anyway, I haven't been connected with them, but they have filled up every time that I have open that I was missing slots. And if one cancels, another jumps in there.
Right. That's amazing. That is great.
Yeah.
I get jealous when I hear stories like that, but that's another subject.
Look, this is the first
another thing.
3+ years with VIPKid, and this is the first time I've had a story where, hey, I'm getting a lot of bookings. Like this is the first time ever, because normally it's, they trickle in, or I might get a few this week, or I've had for like 2-3 months solid. I had 5 whole bookings, even though I had open 30 slots, and I'd have 5 bookings. So this is like a bigger deal than people even realize, because I don't get that many bookings with VIPKid up till now.
I see we've had about 9 people in and out. Please say hello. Let us know, are you certified for Starlight group classes or just the Starlight ones as well? Those are kind of fun. I like those. Do you like them, and have you started teaching them? And if you have questions, please put them in the chat box so we can ask Lucy and Kim. I just got certified, so I don't have a lot of answers. Jason said, I haven't ventured into group classes yet. I'm booked up and super busy with the certifications I have now. That's awesome. Yeah. I know at first I was like, do I get this certification when I have what I need for bookings right now? But then I just never know. So I want to keep up with it. But I still did not get level 8 or my public speaking one.
Well, I also like that they start at 10 minutes after the hour. So if you need to prep, because there's some that I haven't taught as much because I haven't done as many Starlight because I wasn't getting bookings for them. So I need to look over the materials. That gives me 10 minutes after my last class to look over the materials, get in the classroom. I saw Lucy had posted at one point that she writes their names down on something. So I stole her idea. And so I put on my board and I put them in the order they're on the screen like she does. And then that way I can make notes. Or if nothing else, just track who I brought onto the screen when to make sure, because they say only bring 2 students on there to read. And I'm like, no. So every time I bring all of them onto the screen, reset it and bring them on and have them read the parts so they all get that practice. Because otherwise, they may say it over there on their own, but I want to hear it and fix the pronunciation too. So
yeah. Now, Lucy, I think you mentioned that in the workshop, like, especially if you have extra time, bringing more on stage helps fill that time and gives more practice to everybody, right?
Definitely. I watch the timing for, like, the on stage card will say how much time to have them on stage. And if it's 30 seconds and it takes them 5 seconds to complete an activity, 2 more students come on stage.
Good. Jerry said, I have taught a lot of Starlight trials and a handful of regular Starlight. As Lucy knows, and Kim probably knows, Starlights have been my bread and butter. Like, I was so filled with Starlights, I had to start cutting back some hours. Everything I opened, I was very fortunate. I think, what did you tell me one time, Lucy? Like maybe an LP had my name or something, and an LP just kept booking me, and I was very fortunate and taught lots. So I like the Starlights. I think they're fun.
I do too.
groups are even more fun because you have all those
Mhm.
students interacting and reading it in parts together, and so it makes it more fun when you pull them on stage. Like I had the DI, one of the alphabet ones where you're just reading short I sound words and all. And so I'd pull them on the stage and it'll tell them this student reads this word, this part, and this student reads the other part. So they're reading the dialogue and getting that dialogue practice too. So it's really fun to have them do it. And then you pull different ones. And if one of them had trouble, I'll switch them and have them read depending on the time allowance and
Right.
how well they're reading. So it makes it more fun than just the student having to read everything or, interact with the teacher constantly.
So they can hear each other all the time or no? Because there was some part that, see, that's what I was thinking. I thought I heard something where sometimes they can't hear each other.
Right.
Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah, when they're on stage, they can hear each other because they're supposed to be talking to each other.
Okay.
When they're off stage, you can hear them all, but as far as I know, Lucy, they can't hear each other. So you'll hear them all like talking at once. So you can mute them all if you need to.
Or you can mute individual students.
Exactly.
If
Okay.
there's, especially if there's bad background noise.
Exactly.
You're like,
And then-
oh, I don't need to hear that one.
Exactly. I did that yesterday. And then if they're on stage, it does mute all of them. So you only hear the ones on stage,
Mhm.
which
Okay.
is nice because you don't have to worry about hearing
Very nice.
all these extra sounds when you're focusing on these 2 students or these 3 or even all 6 of them, have them all say it at once. That's fun too. When they all get on there together.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Then you have to have a lot of good classroom management. That's one thing I like to say a lot now. Classroom management is key to enjoying these classes.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Okay.
really is.
And the advice I gave Mindy was just relax. Don't focus on, you're not going to get everything perfect with every student every time.
Right.
Relax, have fun with it, bring them on stage, get them to interact, get them to talk and keep doing it. And she said she had so much more fun with the classes once she relaxed and didn't stress over it.
Yeah.
So I haven't taken the workshops yet, but I'm planning on it. I just hadn't had time yet.
Oh, Kim, you should come visit the workshops.
I will try. I told Casey and confessed that 3+ years and I've been to one workshop the whole time, and that was for tokens. So yeah.
Look at Lucy's face.
The Starlight group
works.
workshops are just about the only workshops that I do right now.
What's
All right.
that?
And trials, when I haven't even had a trial workshop in 6 weeks. I don't have
Wow.
another one scheduled for the next, none in August. Like,
Wow.
where are my trial workshops? Yes,
And
they're tired of me.
quick shout out to Melissa who comes on this channel. She is now a workshop mentor too.
Yes.
She'll be starting. I won't be here for her first one. That's during my vacation. Her first one I think is August 8th. So I'm super excited for her to start this new journey because she's so good at explaining things too. She comes on here and she'll explain something to me and I'm like, oh, she's a good teacher.
She is.
So Mary said, I haven't taught the group classes. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't know why I went into the practice room and I must say I'm a little intimidated. There's a lot of
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming the first time you do it. I mean, it really is because you're used to one-on-one. All of a sudden you have 6 students.
Mhm.
And obviously you can hear them all. So it's 6 voices that are talking and singing and playing around before class starts. And until you hit that start button, you cannot cut them off. So I realized that this past time when I had one that was really loud, mom was yelling or talking or something right in the microphone. I'm like, oh, I can't mute them. Okay, so I hit my mute on my computer. Yeah, I don't have I had to put my headphones on because it was like 30 seconds, but I hit the mute on my computer just until about 2 seconds till. But I was trying to get all my stuff down to be ready and prepared. But like I said, I do try to watch and make sure I bring them all on stage about the same amount of time. Sometimes it does automatically put them on stage for you, but when I want to switch them out, it's easier just to kind of track it on my board. But you don't click the ending button, you just keep pulling them on stage. That way you can switch them out. Otherwise, I made that mistake the first time, is that I hit the stop because I was like, oh, okay, I'll stop it and then I'll start the next ones. No. You have to keep it going until you've done all of them and then you can stop it. Also, there's a few things, you have to practice and learn with, but most of it, once you've done it once or so, is fairly simple. I mean, it really isn't. They've made it fairly user friendly.
Yeah.
Much
So-
more than it was in
Yes.
November and December.
Exactly. Because I started it and did like 1 or 2 back then, and it was like, and now it's like, oh, you just press the button and they do whatever they're supposed to do, and so easy, and it shows you their scores, and wow, great job, guys. That's it.
See, the practice room doesn't show like a score or anything. So I'm like, I'm guessing this is where I would see the score. You know what I mean? Like, this must be where they're taking their little test. So they do it by themselves, right?
Mhm.
And what do you do while they're doing it? It's only seconds long though,
It's
right?
like a few seconds, so you just sit there, and wait, smile,
Encourage.
encourage.
Click.
Yeah,
click,
exactly. If they're not doing it, or if
Judy, click. Judy,
exactly.
click.
Exactly. And because they only have that window, and if they
Yeah.
don't click it, they're going to get that 0.
Uh-huh.
And then where the notes are on the side, where the teacher's notes are, is where the scores will pop up.
Okay.
And whoever the fastest is gets the highest score. I mean, they can all get the same score, but it will show them a little crown after a while. And so it lists them in order of how quickly they do it. And
Yeah.
so you want them to click, go as fast as you can.
I did learn that in the workshop with the little crown.
Mhm.
And Lucy,
Yeah.
you gave a tip. You're going to have to go to the workshop to find out the tip if the students, like if they don't have AR sticker capabilities, right?
No
Then
AR stickers.
You have a little tip for them for the crown. If the crown
Oh,
is
I have a
up.
crown. Oh, I don't have a crown right beside me, but I have a big crown. And I will say the one who is number 1 on my screen, because sometimes they don't get it. I'll say, oh, Daniel, you're number 1. And I'll throw my crown on and give them a reward every time for level 1, unit 5 and up. The number 1 student always gets an extra reward.
Oh, okay.
And if all of the students get 10 points, which is the highest they can get, then they get a gesture from me. So like they'll get a high five, a yeah, or okay, or something like that. And I'll say, everyone got 10, yay. And then we do a gesture.
So 10 points is just like giving 5 stars, right? Because
No, it's nothing.
No, it's
It
nothing.
means nothing.
No,
No,
but
it really
what I'm
isn't.
saying is like, it's
Yes,
giving 5
yes,
stars because it equals 10.
yes,
They're 2 points each.
yes.
The crown.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They end up with like 120, 130.
Yeah. I've had one class
Wow.
where they were 246 coins.
Wow.
Just
So-
depends on how many questions they have
Mhm.
and how many times they go on stage.
So they get it every time they go on stage and go back off. They get it every time they do one of the questions and they get a good answer. They get it. And then of course you can give them 2. So if they all like said everything really well, I'll give them an extra 1 or so.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
click through. I wish they had a click where you could give them all at once.
All at
That's the only thing I
once.
wish, because you have to click each one of them.
We've asked, that's when they decided to start automatically giving it to them when they came off stage, and
Which is
there was something
good,
else.
but again, we want to give that to them too. You know, hey,
Right.
you know, something. So
And if you look at the walkthrough videos, they give it every single time they do they've been on stage or something. I'm like, they already got some. I don't have time for that.
I only do it like if they've all
don't have
done
time
really
for
well.
that.
If they all got
Yeah.
the 10, I might give them an extra 1 or something.
Exactly. That's
Sometimes
what
I'll do the gesture.
a gesture. While I'm doing the gesture, dude, I'm giving coins.
Yep. Yeah, like high five, clicking the button.
Yep. And a reward.
Exactly.
Jerry said she went to the Starlight group workshop with Kim today. Awesome. What
We're
is,
getting started.
yeah, if you have time, you want to tell us what one of your takeaways were? I'd love to know. So one of the things you gave another tip. See, I listen, Lucy. You might not
I'm
think so.
I'm
You guys
happy.
know I squirrel, but I listen.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about, and now I'm trying to make sure it's Starlight Group and not one of the other ones we talked about. But where if you have bookings, is it Starlight Group where you close them and you want to open up for regular classes like within 24 hours or something?
Yes.
Can you tell them that? Because I
Yes.
totally confused poor Jerry when I was trying to tell her.
So you can have just the group class open so that you're guaranteeing that spot will be filled up with a group class. But at 26 hours, if it's not filled with a group class, you're not going to get booked. So you need to close it out and open it up as short notice for regular classes.
Okay. So if I just have 2 back-to-back classes open, can they put a group in there?
Yes.
Oh, so I might get one even without trying then.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of teachers have gotten that thinking, oh, I can't get booked because I don't have specific group opening. No. If it's 2 back to back and it's in that time frame,
Yeah.
you can get booked.
And you do, because I do. So
I don't.
Oh, that's right. I remember this discussion in the workshop.
Yeah.
Some do and some don't.
Some
Okay.
do, some don't.
So I don't have any slots open specifically for them because I always forget the times. Like when you ask me, I'm like, I think it's
Yeah.
7:10. I know it's 7:10 their
Mhm.
time, but I didn't remember. And I think it's 8:10 too on the weekends or something, but
More than that.
I know it's more than that, but I
Wow.
don't remember all the times because I just open everything normally
Mm.
and it books just like I do with journeys or anything. Everything's open normally and it just whatever books.
Okay. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to see the bookings page to see what it looks like on there? Let me know because I have mine up ready in case you wanted to see it. Danny said, stopping by before class. Group classes are an adjustment. Haven't taught these though. Hey, Danny, thanks for coming. She said, don't forget to thumbs up the live for our lovely hosts. Thanks, Danny. She's sweet. Sorry, I scrolled a little bit, but we talked about they are 40 minutes. And Kim, you started mentioning you like that they start 10 minutes later because I know a lot of people kind of had issues with the 40-minute classes thinking they were kind of missing out. But Kim, you explained it well. You want to tell us about it?
Well, I mean, okay, so even if you had a 40-minute class that started on the hour at 7, you still wouldn't be able to go to another class because it would go to 7:40. You couldn't start any class at 7:30 because you would still be teaching. So it makes more sense to have it at the 10 after because then you have a little 10-minute break before, a little 10-minute break after. If you go over, you don't have to worry about missing your next class.
Nice.
Like the 58-minute classes, you have less than 2 minutes to finish up, say goodbye, get to the next one. If your student has a question, you may be late to your next class.
Right.
I almost had that happen the other day. I had my other class open up and ready to go, just be safe. But, you have to be careful. Where with these, because it's just 40 minutes and they have it in the middle of that whole thing, it actually works out. And you still get your pay, you still get your extra incentives and all that. So you're not really losing out, but maybe $1 or $2. But if you're not getting a booking at all and you're getting something, why not take something instead of nothing? Because this is my problem was I wasn't getting anything in that slot, and now at least I get something. And so I still get paid for it. And then they also, on Sundays, they keep sending me emails asking me to open a certain slot because they'll give me an extra $1.50.
Yeah.
That's
not enough to tempt me because I already have money coming in from other companies.
Yeah.
But
But for some teachers, that's an extra $1.50 plus the $1.50 of the of the other incentive. So that's $3 extra per class.
Exactly.
Plus 2 times your tier incentive plus your pay.
Yep.
So it can really add up.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that could. Now I'm all thinking about it.
Because you do get your 2 times tier incentive because you are doing 2 classes. You're still getting 2 time slots. So people think, oh, I'm just getting this. They're paying me X number and not 2 time slots. But you are getting the other incentives. You're just maybe losing $1 or so depending on your base pay. The teachers whose base pay is at the lowest on the scale aren't going to lose anything. They're actually going to make the same they would make any other time. So it just really depends on your pay. I never got any of the raises. So for me, I'm not losing much of anything. Not enough to be noticeable.
Right. So what are the ages for this? You said they're slightly older at a lower level generally, right?
It's supposed to be. Usually it's 7 to 9 years old is the lowest level. However, with anything in VIPKid, parents can say, hey, I really want my kid in there. And so you might get a 6-year-old. I think I may have had 1 5-year-old, but that's very, very, very unusual. So between 6 and 15.
Awesome.
15 would be like at the highest rate.
And then you have the parents sitting beside them, whispering the words or saying it with them. So you also have the adults as well.
You have adult students, definitely.
I had a mom sitting there every time the word would pop up, she'd say it and then the child would say it and the child would hear it and say it, but the mom was saying it too to practice her English. So
I think I have one that I have mom and son, and sometimes we think the mom or the dad are there to like push them and give them all the answers, but sometimes it's for them to learn, and you can tell she loves it. When I do the little rewards, like pick a number, she's like, do this one, do this one. She gets excited too. Oh, I love it. Hey, Victoria,
Now-
thanks for coming.
Lucy, do you use extra external rewards in there or not? Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't either.
have used every once in a while. If it really goes with the lesson, I might do something extra. The extra things I do is I have the treasure box that shows up in a lot of lessons on that reward slide, and I will give them treasure. So I have like coins. Coins are in one of them, stars or crowns are in the other. Those are the two things that you'll find in the treasure box. So I have a treasure box and I will open it when it's on the reward slide. There was a candle. This was the coolest thing because I love Good Fortune box, you know, and there was a candle on a reward slide the other day. So I pulled out, oh, it's missing. I pulled out my Good Fortune box that I just received and I used the candle in it.
Oh, fun.
But now it's missing. So here it is. So as the candle started lighting up, I went down, 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 down. Yay, you did a good job. So those little bitty things, like very, very minor. If they get a crown, I give them a crown. If the slide has a star, woo, y'all get a star. You get a reward.
I'll say the only thing I really pull up is like when we're doing the letter ones, I'll pull it up on the screen because, you know, they say it and they show it, but it's still, sometimes the kids need the refresher when they're first doing the first question.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll leave it up on my screen and be like, all right, A, click A, click A, click A, click A. And it helps them, especially if they're new to it or not used to it, they can remember to click it. And I'm sitting there touching it with my finger or looking like I am. So I'll put the letters up on the screen a lot of times or the animal or whatever it is I'm showing. But
a lot of teachers cannot use Minicam or OBS during Starlight group workshop. I mean, Starlight group classes though. True. Just saying, because I am one of them. Oh, I cannot.
Because it's just too much going on, you're saying? Oh, okay.
Because it's too much on my computer.
I can't, when I'm in a journeys class and I have that 10-minute break, I can't use anything on my computer, like searching the internet, Facebook, anything, because I'll try to freeze. So
now journeys, I have no problem.
Journeys is the only thing I have a problem with. That 10-minute break, sometimes my computer will freeze during, not my computer, the classroom won't, but like anything will take time to load, like slower loading, I noticed. I don't know why. But it's usually when the kid's having an issue on their end that I'll notice that. So I just leave everything off on my computer and watch my phone.
So we should let you know, when you go to certify for Starlight, for the group classes, it does say it can only be taught on a computer. And when it says when teaching this course, teachers need to update their VIPKid Teach app. Otherwise, you can't start the class. So I wanted to make sure that we let everybody know that, and that so this is one of those processes where you teach classes, and then after the third one and possibly the sixth one, if the class review is unsuccessful, then it says there's no other way to get certified for this course.
Oh yeah, I just got approved.
Yay!
I just finally got the number of classes I needed, and I just got approved this past week. So or this past within the recent last couple of weeks. It will work without the latest version of VIPKid updated that they just came out with, but it won't last for long. So I haven't updated mine yet. I hadn't had time.
And I think it is important to mention that it is more taxing on your computer, and you can get a teacher IT very easily, and everything looks like it's working really well on your computer, but on their end, it's not. And because it just takes more power. And I have a video in the Facebook group that shows this happening, because they sent me a video of me teaching a one-to-many class, and it was different. It was 500 students. But it was a video of me teaching, and on my end, everything was perfect. On their end, I was frozen for 4 full seconds. Ooh, 4 seconds is a long time.
Especially with many students.
So, and it happened multiple times. She kept telling me, Lucy, you're frozen. Teacher Lucy, you're frozen. I'm like, looks good to me.
Right. Let's take a look at the chat really quick. Jerry said, my takeaway today, this is from her workshop, practice and have fun, try the functions, other stuff too. A lot of information. She missed the very beginning though. The very beginning, Lucy told us there's a lot of information. Victoria said it's different communicating with the firemen in the group class platform. Do you have any suggestions for asking for support without having both parents observing the communication?
I don't know if parents actually notice there's communication because it's not a regular chat box. It's a little help button, and you can click one of those tags, like I can't see the student can't see me. All those tags are there. Then you click to chat and you can chat to the fireman. But I'm not sure what the parents see.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But I do know that if the parent calls for help for any reason, it will flash so that you know that they called for help.
And there's a little red dot.
A little red dot, and it'll flash. Like you just glimpse it out of the corner of your eye, a little dot flashing, and then you can click on it and see. Because it'll look like you called for help, but you didn't. They did.
But if it does flash, you need to check because they could be telling you the parent cannot hear you. And if you don't check, you might get kicked out as a teacher IT because you have a problem with your headphones. And I have headphones that for some reason they quit working. They work when I'm testing. When I'm in the practice room, it registers as it's working. But as soon as I hit class start, they quit working. And I got kicked out.
I've seen that times,
Yeah, I had a teacher IT. So now, as soon as my class starts, I look, they did change it so that you can see your voice meter on the microphone. Check and make sure that your voice is being registered. And if not, change your microphone.
Good job. Good tip. Jason said, I used sushi as a reward this weekend. My student had sushi on his end too, and we would both eat a piece of sushi each time he earned a star. I had sushi last night. I want sushi.
That's funny.
Victoria said, thanks for the tip. She said, I saw that, Lucy. It was a great visual. So I think that's your Facebook video that you put in there. Jerry, sorry, not very specific. I think it was great. Thanks. And Victoria said, thanks for clarifying. So any more tips or tricks you think we need to let everybody know about? Oh, props. Lucy, you really wanted to tell people about props, right? Didn't you say?
I think props are important.
Yeah.
And a lot of teachers don't use a lot of props. And I understand, but these students have very minimal English and you're trying to teach them quickly and get them to remember it. And props really help bring it home and help them understand. And I know that a lot of teachers have gotten feedback, please use props, please use props. So it's something that they want us to use. It's helpful for the students. So
I
say
think
use props.
Especially where they're older students in lower levels. I could see that having more visuals. Maybe they're more a visual learner. We just need to hit our learners wherever we can, right?
Right.
Hit them. That's not the best wording, but you know what I mean. Victoria said, I had seen that we should use our mobile app to send a message, which is a bit difficult to do when you are working with multiple students. Oh, I hadn't heard that.
I personally, doing the 6 student classes, I would not try to use my phone at the same time and looking down.
Yeah, that seems like a big risk of getting some negative feedback.
Very big risk. And it's really hard because there's no time. You're really moving them. You don't really have time to do much. If you have props, you need to have them right there because you don't have time to go looking or grabbing or reaching like you would in a one-on-one class. In a one-on-one class, you can be talking to the student while you reach over here to grab something. Where in these classes, you really do need to be on it. You need to be focused on them the whole time. So anytime I'm like marking something on my board, it's because I'm doing something else. Like I have them answering a question on the screen, so I'll make my little notes, or I have them reading something on the screen and I'll make my little notes. But I try to make sure they're engaged doing something while I do it because otherwise there's really no time. You need to be real quick.
Awesome. All right. So I think I totally asked you guys a question and then I jumped in there. So any last minute tips you guys want to leave us with?
Have fun.
Yes.
Have fun. Get the students moving. Go to workshops. Kim.
I will try to fit it in. Casey knows I work a lot of hours and during the day I tutor as well. So it's kind of hard. I went straight from tutoring to this. So I would love to. And I think they're wonderful and I encourage everyone else to do it. And I will try to jump in there when I can. I didn't even get to go to any of the fun stuff last week because I really none of it fit my schedule. So It
Yeah.
really is
I
hard.
totally understand. I don't get to go to workshops or the fun meetups very often either. I totally do get it.
Yeah.
But you both came here, and I am so super
Yes.
thankful for you guys. And I don't want to keep you both, because I know you're both super busy. But I thank you, Kim and Lucy, so much. And everyone in the chat, thanks for stopping by. If you guys still have questions, put them in the comment section below, and I will try to ask Kim or Lucy or some of the other amazing teachers out there. So, all right, everyone. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
We'll see you guys next time.